In the top left side of the map, it's the barcode showdown. Scan the players in here. In the top left, we've scanned in as the Blue Protoss player herO. At least he made a clan tag so we can see which barcode he is. Otherwise that wouldn't have been fun. Here on the top left is our Blue Protoss. In the bottom right, red Terran player did not put his name in a clan tag. It's okay. It's INnoVation, and you'll just have to remember that throughout the course of the game, guys, that this is INnoVation. And, yeah, obviously good to see INnoVation back and playing some games. We'll see how he does here against herO. INnoVation apparently saying, I'm too scared to face the Gosu. Thank you, Maddox, for the translation. herO, I'm not that much. I feel like herO really powers up sometimes, though, right? You know, like, herO really... Don't get me wrong, like... And I say this because obviously we know herO can be really good, but there are times when watching herO online can be kind of like, huh, that wasn't as spectacular as herO can be. It really feels like herO steps it up in the moment a lot of the time, right? And just kind of absolutely delivers when most necessary. It's kind of a cool skill to have, a cool talent to have, right? herO says, bring it on, bird. Hell yeah. Thank you for the translation, Maddox. Hope you're doing well, mate. Enjoying some games with us today. Here it goes, moving out, away we go. Just going to be seeing our Reaper making its way out to the upper left-hand side. What's up, CT Sauron? Thank you so much for the 10 months resub. How you doing? Gonzalo comes across the map, puts on some pressure, and is just going to swipe his way through that deeper for a little bit. So getting some damage done, nothing too major though. Obviously the Reaper can come back and fight this. Obviously INnoVation oftentimes, and just throughout the kind of course of the last couple of weeks when we've seen him play, has been going for this kind of factory expansion, then expansion high ground to make sure he's very safe. So things like this don't really do much against him. Keep it coming along. It's going to be moving through the top. Medevac will boost across with a couple of Hellions inside, so going to try and get some Hellion drop damage done. Let's see if that's something which maybe INnoVation can deal some damage with then. So obviously it opens up with that faster factory, gives you a little bit of extra speed to the arrival of this Hellion drop, and oftentimes that can work wonders for you. Let's see if it'll work wonders here as herO gets up defensively. He has a lot of gateway units, and herO, if you've not watched any of his games, he's been absolutely spamming this 3-gate robo. Hellions get into the natural expansion. They stay away from the units to get enough shots off, staying in one-shot range. 2 of the Hellions escape into the main with the Medevac. Decides not to commit through there. Instead peels back around the left side. And the Prism going across the map from herO to try and deal some damage. These Stalkers will be the poke from herO then, try and deal something, but a couple of shots doesn't really go too far. I'm just going to be having our Product Council on the way up as well. We've seen, again, so many different variations of this from herO, so many different ways for him to try and play out these scenarios with this Robo. We've seen him 7 or 8 gates sometimes if he feels like he does enough early to commit to an all-in. He's just so committed in so many different ways. It's very cool. As a few Marines will move out from the natural prism. How's the few Zealots inside? Obviously, when they get charged, life will be a bit better for them. It's not even Zealots, right? It's Stalkers still. At some point, I imagine we go drop off those Stalkers, swap them out for Zealots, and then we come back. I'm just a little bit ahead of myself. We don't have that charge yet, so it doesn't really make sense to go with the Zealots until charge is done. It's been fun watching kind of herO explore this 3-gate Robo opener. I wonder what's prompted him to sort of just say, yeah, I'm going to do this like every single game for the next X amount of time. Because it really is, this isn't just like a phase, this is like a hard commitment from him. He is like really doing this just so freaking much. It's kind of fascinating to see just how much he's been, like I say, just doing it on repeats. Same kind of thing, same idea, but mixing it up on the follow-ups. At first I was like, well, it's kind of a cool way to play a series, right? You play a 3-gate Robo, which is a bit of a, you know, an unexpected one to begin with, and then you kind of have your opponent guessing what the follow-up is each time. But then he's done it so many times now, it's like, it's more than just like a fun way to play a single series. Like, he's really just trying to, you know, dive deep on 3-gate Robo as an opener and figure out just what he can do, what he can get away with, the sort of follow-ups he can make happen. Yeah, really, fascinating. Is obviously Storm on the way now. It's been a popular follow-up for him once he gets Blink and Charge online. It's a nice transition to make. It's less awkward than if you try to go for the Colossus switch here and the, you know, Robo Bay so late on. It's the feedbacks here. Obviously, he gets the Raven low on energy. That's obviously really nice because the Raven has a lot of value that can be provided. So get rid of the Raven, then hits a Medevac as well just to stop some healing. I don't mind that use of the High Templar, but now we may not have the energy for Storms. That one High Templar was actually a little bit abandoned there. Maybe could have actually seen that going down if INnoVation had dove for it. I think he kind of second-guessed himself, maybe not realizing it was a low energy Templar, so he was actually pretty safe to go target it if he wanted to. Now Storm is about to be done, so wait on this Storm finishing up. Medevac spot coming around the left side, so herO can begin to move into position. That'll be very important. Try and shut down these Medevacs. The Observer's just following this along the way. Obviously, the Observer's seen as well, though, by the freaking Raven, so INnoVation should have known he was seen, should have known he was figured out. Well, Observer goes down to the Widow Miners. We do see the Prism actually in trouble as well. If that's got High Templar inside, then you got to keep that alive. That's something you can't really afford to let go down, right? So, gotta be careful with this as INnoVation tries to poke in around the right-hand side to deal a little bit of damage. There is a Storm to help fend off this initial army. Push that back just slightly, and now herO keeping a hold of his 3 bases for the moment. Now I'm going to see a couple of Widow Mines going to come join back up with the rest of this Bioforce, the Medevacs and the Raven. Just going to set up together. As Zealots, Immortals, and an Archon begin to move forward, we're going to join everything up. In fact, in herO, we'll start onto the map. I mean, he got less army supply than INnoVation, as he's currently being denied access to the main base. These couple of Zealots will not find too much damage. The Prism already backing away. I know his army is a bit spread out, and that might be his biggest weakness here. He's got some Marines in the middle, army around the right, some army running in from the left potentially as well. So I think if there is a problem here for INnoVation, it may be more focused around that than absolutely anything else. One more High Templar warps in. It's going to become another Archon. Obviously, we do have Storms. INnoVation could really do with, well, just seeing any amount of Ghosts. He does not have a Ghost Academy just yet. Is going to catch this Immortal. This counter-attacking drop is going to do decently. At the same time, herO decides now's the time to go. The first Storm's pretty good on the top right. A lot of the Bio taking a lot of damage there. Another Storm goes down. The Siege Tank goes down, make it a couple. INnoVation's army is not really holding on initially, although now getting through a few more of these Stalkers, maybe a little bit more hope for him. Can he get through the tech units? He's so Marauder heavy that the fact there's 4 Immortals left over is going to be really problematic. They are going to chuck through the Marauders, and it's the tech units that INnoVation can't get through That's why EMPs would have been incredible. He would have been through the Archon so much sooner, and through the Archon, he would have had much easier access to that Immortal count, and then maybe he would have actually still had enough left over, but I mean, obviously it's been a pretty active game. I can understand he's not had the chance to maybe go Ghost, but maybe not the only way to have defended either. Obviously he's got that attack across the map. It was pretty close to you at the end of the day. Obviously INnoVation now losing way too many workers. He is killing a lot as well, but he's still got 20 more to kill to even things out, and he's still got to find a defenses right now. herO walks up into INnoVation's main base, and again, the Immortals just chunk their way through Marauders without problem. And that is going to be a pretty convincing shutdown of everything. INnoVation just doesn't quite have enough. It's really promising what we're seeing from INnoVation, though, in the matchups that we're seeing from him. Obviously, this is just game one as well, not to get ahead of ourselves and say he's eliminated here, but like, he's putting himself in good winnable positions, and I feel like with a few tweaks, a few little improvements, INnoVation is really on track to really hit a high level once again, if that's something he really wants to focus on achieving. So yeah, very cool. As bottom left, our blue Protoss player is going to be herO, and he is up one game in our best of 3. In the top right, our red Terran player is INnoVation. Again, it's kind of a treat to see how many games we've been able to cast of INnoVation the last few days. It's cool to see him back playing some games. And yeah, just trying out some StarCraft 2 again. I really believed when INnoVation left for the military and he said, I'm not interested in returning. I was one of these people that really believed this. I really said this at the time. I said, hey, I believe him. Like, to me, INnoVation is the kind of player who's always given off that kind of feeling of he practices because he's very good at the game, and he does well because he's very good at the game, and so he makes a lot of money, and that's why he keeps playing. Like, it never really felt like StarCraft 2 was like a passion for INnoVation, more so a job. And so when he said he wouldn't return from the military, I really believed that, but maybe that time away has made him a little bit fond of his SC2 time, so maybe he's come back and he just doesn't know what else to do. I mean, he could play Brood War if he wanted to as well, right? He was a decent practice partner player in Brood War, right? Like, he wasn't like a top tier player when he switched to SC2. And obviously he really popped off in SC2, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not super up to date on my Brood War history, especially nowadays. It's been so long, but I believe that's the story of INnoVation. What a god he was in StarCraft 2, of course. And, well, still is. Because he's back. Factory on the way up, Reaper on the way. On game number 2. Off to a peaceful start, no proxies or anything. We do mostly perhaps question whether herO will go 3-gate robo again, because he just keeps doing 3-gate robos. Like, that's just the herO thing right now, so definitely see that. The Nexus is already about halfway done. And it's going to be a Stargate. Wow, it's actually one of the first times I've seen herO play anything different in recent memory. That's kind of nice. I think hero's very much so just Phoenix into Colossus when he plays Stargates. Map like Royal Blood is good for that as well. Got a good defendable third base once it gets up with those Colossi to defend it. Adept just shades, and that Reaper gets pushed around out down to the south. The Adept will shade down. And again, Stargate just going to be finishing. That's really our question mark of what happens here. Will it be a Phoenix, or will we maybe sneak out an Oracle and try and have some Oracle-based fun at the start of game number 2? It's just going to be the Phoenix. Now, obviously, herO could also play Phoenix into, like, Charge if he really wanted to play kind of still with that kind of swarmy, you know, ground-based force, instead of having to play necessarily into the Phoenix Colossus. That is not a, you know, you're not just stuck going Phoenix Colossus. You can play Phoenix Charge and get that Gateway Army up, add some Archons in, use the Phoenix to your drop defense, while the Charge Lots really are the main powerhouse on the ground for a lot of the early game transitioning into later on. Widowmine goes off, and a couple of Adepts are going to pull back, likely be able to knock down this Widowmine here. Very close to grabbing the kill on that one. Doesn't quite get it, but the Adepts get to shade into the main. There's a Cyclone line and wait for them, unfortunately, so it doesn't actually turn out too well. Obviously, the Cyclone just going to start going straight through those Adepts. Now, he killed 2 SCVs. It's a minor SCV pull. Wouldn't say that this was anything too spectacular, right? Let's just have the Phoenix producing from herO, continue to get those numbers up. And so far, he has been keeping them at home, but then now on the map, over the left side here, maybe looking to see if there's some opportunity for them to cause some chaos in the upcoming moments. Phoenix will just jump through. Widowmine goes off. First Phoenix already taken some damage. A couple of SCVs will begin to go down. Cyclone locks on for just a moment or two there. Just going to see a few Phoenix still working down the left side. Viking, Siege Tank, couple of Marines, all of that producing for the moment here. And that Robo Bay coming online as well from herO. Bringing this all up right now. Cyclone gets across. The Phoenix helps to... Oh, Phoenix get chased away. Cyclone will come through with a group of the Marines. Again, just across the map. INnoVation. See if you can get position. He supply blocks herO, which is not a bad start. This is obviously... no chargy boys on the Zealots. We do go for the Robo Bay, but it's not ready yet. There's an Immortal, though. The Immortal's actually in a nice position right now to perhaps do something. I was going to say the Siege Tank was in a good place to kind of stay away from the Immortal, but that Super Battery is just going to reach and allow the Immortal to get on top of the tank and clean that out. We're going to siege the next tank further back, but we're kind of getting to that dangerous point where the Phoenix might just overwhelm and lift up everything, only really being held back by the amount of energy they have. Otherwise, I think that would have been quite disastrous, in fact. Phoenix coming through. Phoenix take a bit of damage. There goes the medevac, picked off up in the skies, and get rid of one of those Phoenix right now as well. It's going to be seeing the Phoenix continuing across. Knock down a Viking here and take away a couple more of the Marines. More Marines coming over, the Siege Tank as well. And those Phoenix again just up into the main. Well, herO kind of cleans out INnoVation, and now INnoVation has to kind of fall back home and figure out a bit of a backup plan. See what he's going to come out with now is obviously he has to play a little bit more on the defensive side of things. The aggression getting shut down. It's really just going to become a waiting game for Inno. Wait until those upgrades are in play. There's already one Colossus out, though, from herO, and that feels like herO might just hit 3 Colossi and potentially just be ready to attack. Now, at that point, INnoVation might have his bio upgrades, but if he has absolutely nothing else, then the Colossi can just overwhelm. If there's no clear-cut way for INnoVation to kill those Colossi, then yeah, it's likely going to be a very big problem, as right now, herO just goes already with 1 Colossus. The 2 tanks on the low ground go down immediately. It's a beautiful force field to keep the Marines out of the low ground as well, so they're going to be kept up in the main. And yeah, this army of herO is doing serious damage. 8 workers killed, and INnoVation, I think obviously just not having the upgrades is just a good identification from herO that actually he could go already rather than having to wait for 2-3 Colossi, which really would have been a powerful moment for him as well. SCVs pretty much have to start repairing up this command center, but if they repair the command center, it's going to be easy for the Colossus to kill them. So there goes CC on the natural. We do have a 3rd CC here, although we're going to force a recall. INnoVation might be able to attempt to go across the map for some kind of a counterattack, but he's down half the army supply. herO clearing up that first attack really just set the tone for this game and has pretty much put us into the driver's seat for herO. And he's going to be taking us all the way home for this quarterfinal, it would seem. Well, the second game maybe not as exciting as the first, but like I say, considering INnoVation's been laddering for what, 2-3 weeks or so? Very hopeful, right? Like, you think about herO, he made a bit of a splash when he returned from the military as well. You know, and obviously he became very good afterwards, but when he returned from the military, he was good. But it did take him a while still to kind of get really good again and become the Protoss hope we all now see him as. So, I feel like you give INnoVation a month or 2, and he's going to be a top-tier competitor again, guys. It's kind of crazy. These guys coming back from the military at just such a high level and just able to do so well. Really, really sick. Medevacs load up. Group of Marines gonna head into the main base, and in we go for, well, pretty much whatever we can get. A few Zealots warping in. We do have the Phoenix making a play for the Medevacs. We'll be taking a few shots. We continue through here. A couple of Zealots begin to go down. This is just going to be INnoVation. I mean, doing decent damage, all things considered. He needed to find something, and he's now also got a bit of army on the third base as well. Unfortunately, it's going to cost him absolutely everything to have been aggressive out here, so that's unfortunately going to be quite costly. As the Phoenix come back through, they lift off a Widow Mine. Marauders getting chased away. The Colossi continue down. I just feel like herO is going to be able to defend INnoVation on all fronts. Clear this up, deal with all of this. Pretty much just put us onto GG's. herO 2-0 and moves on through to the semifinals.